Hey everyone, and welcome to my level 100 guide to Pictomancer. If you've only just unlocked the job and you want a quick rundown of how it works at level 80, I'll leave a link in the description to my quick start guide. But if you've gotten to level 100 or you're just curious to see how the class works at max level, then this video is going to teach you everything that you need to know to play the job at max level. So let's get started. We have two different things that we're going to be playing with Pictomancer. We have our Pallet Gauge, which is going to interact with our basic combo, and we have the Canvas Gauge, which is going to interact with our three different paintings. Let's start with the Pallet Gauge, because that one's very easy to explain. So with Pictomancer we have a basic combo string, which is all going to be on the same buttons. As you can see down here, we have fire in red. When I use this skill, it is going to change into arrow in green, and if I use it again, it's going to change into water in blue, and then using this one, we'll finish off our basic combo string. Finishing the basic combo string does two things for us. One, it will grant us 25 pallet gauge, and it will also grant us one stack of white paint. The white paint we can use on Holy and White, which is an AoE skill that is an instant cast, and our pallet gauge itself, we actually need 50 of before we can do something with that. So I'm just gonna do my basic combo string one more time, and then we get 50 gauge, and again, of course, we get one more stack of white paint. And now you can see that our subtractive palette button becomes available. Using subtractive palette does two things for us. So the first thing is it will consume our 50 gauge, of course, and it will turn our fast casting basic combo into a slower casting, higher damaging dealing basic combo. So we can go ahead and use that one. As you can see, it is much slower, but it's going to be dealing much more damage. And at the end of it, it'll still grant us a stack of white paint, but it will not grant us the 25 pallet gauge. Now, as you can also see on my job gauge, one of our two white paint stacks has become dark instead. When we use subtractive palette, we get this buff right here called monochrome tones, which is going to be convert our first white paint stack that we use into Comet in black, and it looks something like this. This will not stack on each other, so if you use subtractive palette, make sure that you use Comet in black before you use it again, because you can't stack monochrome tones. So when you use subtractive palette, make sure you use Comet in black before you use subtractive palette again. And that's basically all there is to the basic combo string. You press the one button, in my case, to cast your normal 3-part combo, and then once you've got 50 gauge, you can use subtractive palette to get access to the enhanced combo instead. When it comes down to casting Holy and White, this is technically a super tiny DPS loss, in the sense that if you're always using all of your Holy and White skills, it's going to be like a 0.6% DPS loss, so it's quite negligible. But if you want to min-max, you want to try and use Holy and White as least as possible, and when you need movement, you'll want to use your other movement tools. Comet in black is a DPS gain, so you definitely want to use that one. And we also have one of our paintings, which is going to help us with movement as well. So if you can leave the Holy stacks alone, then that's much better, because you'll do a tiny bit more DPS. But it also means that if you're leaving them alone, that you will have 5 stacks ready for movement when you do need it for some of the movement heavy mechanics. Let's then move on to our paintings. As you can see on my hotbar, I have 3 buttons here for our paintings. We have the creature painting, the weapon painting, and the landscape painting, and then the buttons above it are the ones that we are going to be using to activate the painting. So over here, I'm going to be painting my creature painting, and now you can see that the button here is ready to go ahead and use it. So I'm going to be painting all 3 of my paintings real quick, and then you can see the corresponding button light up. As well as when we look at our job gauge, you can see that I have a palm, a hammer, and a landscape ready here to use. Using the paintings, or activating the paintings I should say, they're all going to be off global cooldowns, and when you activate them, they're going to be doing different things for us. So we'll start off with the creature painting. As you can see on the hotbar, this one has 3 charges, each on a 40-second charge time. The striking one is on a 60-second charge time, 2 charges, and the landscape one is on a 2-minute cooldown, no charges. But again, going back to the creature one, whenever we activate this one, it is just going to be doing an AoE attack on our target. This is just an off GCD, and then as you can see on our pallet gauge, it is going to be storing the skill that we just used. So if I go ahead and paint the next one in the combo chain, you can now see that we have wings ready right here, and when I drop the wings, it saves the wings, and you can also see a little Moogle poking out on the top of our job gauge. This means that we can use our Mock of the Ages. This is our Moogle laser beam. This is a separate off GCD on our hotbar, so you can go ahead and use that. And then it goes onto a 30-second cooldown. The cooldown itself isn't really all that important. If you use it where you're supposed to, then the cooldown will never matter. Now, we can paint it twice more, so as you can see, we're painting a claw next. Again, same thing, just deals AoE damage on the target. And then we can go into our last one, which are the fangs. And then when we use the fangs, you can see there's now a little Medine poking out on the top of our job gauge, and also that the entire canvas is reset. The little Medine that pokes out, again, gives us access to a laser beam, so we can go ahead and use that one. And then basically that is what we do with our creature canvas. After you've used all of them, it just resets back to 0. When it comes down to the hammer painting, this one, when we activate it, we get a 30-second buff of hammer time, during which we can use our hammer skill, and we can use this 3 times in a row. These are AoE skills that deal direct hit crit damage on all of the hits. And then of course the one does the least damage, and then it does more and more damage as we go up. These are also all instant cast GCDs, so if you need to move, then this is the preferred way for you to use instant cast skills, so that you can leave your Holy and White alone for as long as possible. Last but not least, we have our landscape painting, and this is going to be doing a lot of different things for us. So first of all, it is going to be granting us our raid buff for 20 seconds to the entire team. The second thing is going to grant us a free usage of Subtractive Pallet, this thing right here, which grants us access to our enhanced basic combo. It's also going to allow us to use Star Prism, which is this skill right here, which just does an insane amount of damage in an AoE around the target. It is also going to grant us 5 stacks of Hyperphantasia, and when we consume those 5 stacks, then we are going to get access to an enhanced version of Rainbow Drip. Rainbow Drip is a skill that is very slow casting. I'll use it right here. As you can see, very long cast time, very long recast time as well, and this will grant us 1 white paint stack on our job gauge as well. But basically, you'll only be using Rainbow Drip in the opener as like a pre-pull thing at around 4 seconds, but outside of that, you only want to use the enhanced version that you get access to from your raid buff. So as I said, the raid buff does a lot of things, but I'm gonna just kind of show you what it looks like. So we activate our raid buff, allows us to use Star Prism, allows us a free usage of Subtractive Pallet, so we can just go ahead and use our normal combo chain, and after 3 hits we want to not use it anymore. And then we want to also drop 1 comet in black, and then we get our enhanced Rainbow Drip, and that's the end of it. During this burst window, you also want to be dropping your creature palette, as well as a laser beam, and you also want to use 1 hammer combo. And that's basically all there is to Pictomancer. Those are the 2 major things that you're going to be playing around with. We still have 2 more skills, however. We have Smudge, this is our gap closer, and after you finish it, you get 5 seconds of sprint, so really good to just move around. And we also have this skill right here, Tempera Coat. When we use it, it's going to grant us a shield for 10 seconds, and if the shield breaks, it will reduce the cooldown in half. However, if we reactivate it, it's going to spread the shield to our nearby party members to just give everybody a shield, but then it does go onto the full 2-minute cooldown. So really cool. If you need it for yourself because you got hit by an ability, just use it for the personal defensive and then get it back in 60 seconds. However, if you do want to spread it to the rest of your team, then it is going to be the full 2-minute debuff. So those are the basics of Pictomancer. Let's then put it into practice and show a 2-minute rotation for you guys. So I de-aggroed a striking dummy, so I'm currently out of combat, and when you're not in combat, using your paintings is instant cast, and they also have a very short recast timer, so this is really good for at the start of a fight that you can instantly get your paintings ready. And also when you're in dungeons, between dungeon pulls, you can just very quickly paint them, because you can just do it while running towards the next mob pack. So the opener looks a little bit like this. We want to start with Rainbow Drip pre-cast, and then immediately activate our hammer pellets. We'll want to use 1 holy stack to get off-global cooldowns ready. We drop our palm, we activate Starry Muse, and then we just go ahead and whack on the boss. We of course want to use our Moogle laser beam as well. We finished casting our hammer combo, so now we go and cast our enhanced basic combo. At the end of this, we can drop our comet in black, we can drop our Star Prism, and we can drop our Rainbow Drip. And that is the end of the burst window. Once this is done, we can just cast our basic combo string as much as we want, but we'll also want to of course be painting our next set of paintings, so I'm just gonna prepare them for when I need them. And if I want to, I can already start activating some of these as well. I don't necessarily need to use them immediately either, because there is a charge time on them, so you can just kind of use them as you need them. As you can see, I've now finished off my creature painting, so I can use my second laser beam, and now I can go ahead and paint more paintings. Something to keep in mind as well when it comes down to your creature painting, this one all have the same potency, so it doesn't matter which of the creature paintings that you put into your raid buff, they all have the same potency. In between each burst you can also use one hammer combo. You can use 2 of them after the opener, because of course in the opener you have 2 charges already, but past the opener you can use 1 hammer charge for mobility or just for damage. And then we can just kind of prepare ourselves for our next burst. So over here, to prepare for the burst, we want to make sure that we have 1 hammer stack ready, which we already have. We also want to make sure that we have a creature pallet ready, which we have. And we also want to make sure that we get 1 laser beam, which we will get when we use our creature pallet. And we also want 1 comet in black. So right now I'm going to use subtractive palette one more time to have a comet in black ready. And then I'm going to use my hammer painting to get that one ready, and then we go into our burst. The reason why we want comet in black is because we can then use comet in black twice, which is going to be dealing more damage than our basic combo instead. So over here I'm going to finish off my hammer combo. I'm going to use my star prism, and now I still have 2 stacks left that I need to consume, so I'm going to be using my basic combo for that. We consumed all the stacks, we can use star prism, and we have now finished the burst window. And that is basically what Pictomancer looks like. So you're going to be painting a lot of paintings and using them throughout the fight. If you don't have paintings to paint, you're just going to be using your basic combo, and then when you have subtractive palette ready, use that to turn your basic combo into a higher damage version of itself. And of course, make sure that you use your comet in black before you use subtractive palette again, because you don't want the stack to go to waste. And that's gonna do it for me, so if you have any more questions, then feel free to leave them in the comments down below and I'll definitely get back to you. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.